Family with Jesus presents Unequal Yoke, Part 2. Our meditation text is found in Deuteronomy 22:10. You shall not walk with an axe or donkey. In the previous topic, we discussed the connection between unequal yoke and any inappropriate association which subjugates us and prevents us from developing our spirituality. The text of Deuteronomy presents a pattern of social disparity that is not functioning properly. Today, we will discuss the most common use of unequal yoke, marriage. For marriage to conform to the divine ideal, a believer must marry another believer. The Bible shows that when God directly united a man and a woman in marriage, both were believers. Although pagan customs encourage marriage with anyone, Genesis 16. Israel was explicitly commanded not to marry foreigners who would encourage them to worship foreign deities, as in Deuteronomy 7 verse 1 up to 5. When the Lord your God brings you into the land you are going to possess, and has driven out many nations before you, the Hittites, the Girshites, the Amorites, the Canaanites, the Perizzites, the Hivites, and the Jebusites, 7 nations greater and mightier than you, then the Lord your God will deliver them into your hand. You shall strike them down and destroy them with destruction. You should not make a covenant with them or take them as a possession. You should not get married to them. You shall not give your daughter to his son, nor take his daughter for your son, lest he turn your son away from you. They will serve other gods. The anger of the Lord will be kindled against you, and he will quickly destroy you. We find several other texts that show that we must avoid any action that causes a believer to become involved in marriage with an unbeliever. Thus, while it is true that in 2 Corinthians 6:14, Paul's exhortation is to separate oneself from any union with paganism in general, and that it was not written exclusively for the marital context. This does not mean that the principle drawn from this text does not apply to romantic relationship and marriage. It does apply and constitutes their primary objective. The very word yoke is linked to marriage, for the Spanish word consult precisely means to share the same yoke with another person, as is the case between husband and wife in marriage. Therefore, since the marital bond is a partnership that aims for healthy and happy coexistence, distancing oneself from an unequal yoke is relevant and necessary for romantic success. An inspired thought tells us, no other principle has been prescribed more strictly by God. The violation of this principle throughout the history of God's people has inevitably led to spiritual disaster. In a society swept away by liberal trends and confronted with so-called religious violence, whose perpetrators ignore biblical ethic, the text of 2 Corinthians 6:14 takes on crucial relevance as a warning to believers of the dangers of being unequally yoked, threatening their way of life or religious beliefs. Family with Jesus, pray that everyone may erect a barrier that will hold back all deadly attacks to attempt to destroy marriage and original family as they originate from the mind and hands of the Creator. And may each of us seek a yoke that will help us draw closer to Christ. Pray to God for this. Start now. Amen.